Never been in a room with so many people, but you feel alone. That's infertility and pregnancy loss.
You are such in a negative mindset that anything positive, you question. I just waited 9 years to be able to hold something in my arms to call mine. You couldn't give me 3 weeks, a week, a day, an hour to enjoy what I suffered from?
I often tell people, do you want to be pregnant or do you want to be a mother?
After a 9-year battle through infertility, loss, and a journey that cost everything, Numa Richard finally held her son and found a contentment she never knew was possible. She joins author and advocate Sandra Elder for a conversation that doesn't shy away from the darkest moments, the isolation, the triggers, the strain on a marriage. But this is ultimately a story of light.
Someone who is in the process with IVF, those who may have lost, those who are looking to probably going through the process, what words that you can give of support, inspiration?
The pain is real. The pain hurts. Knowing what you're going through, there's a reason. There is a greater purpose. You're not alone. You just have to find your tribe.
Welcome to Jules Legacy Enterprise Productions. This is your home for powerful stories and game-changing insights. This segment, Conversation with a Pioneer, highlights the success stories of North Miami Senior High School pioneers and guests who just might change your life forever. Each episode brings fresh energy and unexpected inspirations. So stay tuned because you never know who's next to light your path. We have with us two special and amazing guests. We have Sandra Elder, who is an author, a speaker, an entrepreneur, an advocate for women's health that battles endometriosis and infertility. She is the voice in the community for the women. We also have with us Sandra Numa Richard, who have served over 14 years in public service through law enforcement in the municipality of Miami-Dade County. She is also here to help share her journey and her stories. Please welcome Sandra and Numa.
Hi.
Hey, ladies.
Yeah, thank you
Good
for having
morning.
us. Thank you for having me back.
Hey, welcome back.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be back?
It feels good. I'm starting to feel like this is home now.
Oh yeah, this is definitely home. Did you see back there? Okay. Mommy kangaroo. Okay. So it's a pleasure to have both of you here, right?
Thank
You guys, of course. You guys have served and you guys are leaders within the communities that you are serving. Definitely for women, right? You guys have supported, you guys are advocates, you guys are voices, and you guys also, even though you serve in the community, but you guys serve in a different aspect, right? Mm-hmm. So I'd like to start with ground. What is something about you today that you are very proud of, big or small, that many people may not know about?
So you're looking at me. So I guess that's my
no. Either or. Anybody want to take it?
For me, is the fact that I am able to share my story, even when people are like, why are you sharing something so personal? And I'm able to share it with grace, passion, and to see how something that was so painful turn into something so powerful, and have other people come out and share their story. So I'm so now I can say I'm happy I was chosen for this.
Okay.
Couldn't say it back then, but now I'm happy to say I'm happy I was chosen for it.
Okay. Now, when you mentioned back then, what is the difference between back then and now? How do you look at it?
Back then, when you in the trenches, you're in it, mm-hmm. It's a different lens. It's a different pain. You don't know if there's a way out. Mm-hmm. You don't know if this is going to be the way it is forever, how long you're going to be able to take the pain. So looking at it now in a different viewpoint, it's like, okay, I see why I was in it then. Back then, when you're in it, you can't see the future. You don't know how this is going to transpire. So the fact now that I'm on the other side, it's like, okay, I see why I was chosen to go through that pain. I won't ask for it again. Don't get me wrong. I didn't like it, but now on the other side, I can see why I was chosen.
Okay. Numa,
Yes.
what about you?
For me, it's the fact that I never gave up.
Okay.
I kept hope, and I don't give up easily. So I love myself a challenge. So I guess that's why I work well under pressure. So I was very determined to get to the end. Whether that end meant different avenues, but I know that one day I was going to get my happy ending.
Okay. What is one of the challenges that you had to overcome that you're proud of?
The fact that I didn't have a lot of people to guide me, so I was on my own.
Okay.
So there was not a lot of success stories that I could have attained, that I could have touched the person. Everything was pretty much online.
Okay.
And unfortunately for me, when I was going through mine, was, I would say a little bit, so basically my fight with all this started 9 years ago.
Okay. When you said all of which fight?
My fight with getting to my happy ending.
Okay.
It started 9 years ago.
Okay.
But we all know the pandemic was in 2019, 2020. So that's 5 years ago.
Okay.
So 5 years ago was when I was in the middle, like Sandra said, in the middle of the trenches. I was going through it.
Okay.
And what happened? Everything was shut down.
Oh, wow.
So it was very difficult to actually see someone that you can touch, that everything was through Zoom. Everything was on social media. So now you had to follow the right people. Not everybody's fight was the same. So I was very happy that not everybody has that, is the fact that they have a strong support system. I had it.
Okay.
And I'm thankful for that. But at the same time, I lost a lot.
Wow.
I lost a lot during the fight because you become paranoid.
Okay.
Because you think about it, you are such in a negative mindset that anything positive you question.
Okay.
So because of that, you couldn't have fun. How dare I smiling when I'm trying to get through something and I know that it's not gonna be positive? So now you psych yourself up.
Okay.
So do you stay happy? Because now people are gonna be like, she's not really in pain. And do you stay sad? Can't be sad all the time. Because besides home, like you said, I'm in the public sector. So my job is to help people. I can't help people through tears in my eyes because they're gonna look at me and say, what is she doing here? I need help, and looks like she needs more help than I do. So like they say, I had to suck it up.
Okay.
And I had to put a smile on my face whenever I couldn't smile. I had to reach out to people that made me smile with however means they could.
Okay. And thank you for sharing, by the way.
No
Thank
problem.
you. You ladies are mothers, right? What has motherhood taught you today?
For me, it's patience.
Patience, okay.
And it's a virtue that I never knew that I had. I am not a patient person at all. I am the person that when I want it now. And I'm gonna work for it. So, and you know the saying that says if you can't work towards something, you have to pretty much envision yourself having it. Now, the question that you said is that we are mothers now, right? What is a mother?
Wow, that's a great question.
So I considered myself being a mother the very first time I was pregnant. But that very first time, I did not bring home a child. So Mother's Day for me was never a good day after that, after I lost my baby. Because you seeing the world celebrating something that you could not attain. And for me, when I left to go to the doctor, and the doctor told me, this is it, there's nothing else I can do. We just have to make sure that now we prepare the space for you to be able to get to that stage again. Now you're coming back home with nothing in your hands. So you leave home pregnant, you come back home, you open the door, there's usually what happens, confetti, flowers, balloons, and there's nothing. It's just tears. So Mother's Day, it was uncomfortable for me, and it was uncomfortable for people also that love me. Should they tell me Happy Mother's Day? I don't have a child. Because your brain is wired to only tell only the mothers that have a physical child in their arms Happy Mother's Day. But how did I feel? Did I feel like the baby that I lost made me less of a woman and less of a mother? So I had my first angel. And now I had to go back to work. So now the reality kicks in. You walk into the halls, what do people tell you? I work in a male-dominated field. So some thought that I was on vacation. The people that knew, and the people that didn't know thought that, hey, maybe she wanted, because when you get to a point during your pregnancy, it's on you to actually basically let your job know that, hey, you're pregnant. So now what happens? You can't do the same job. So now they have to put you on the sideline and do the work differently. So when those changes happen, your schedule changes. If you weren't off on the weekends, you're now off on the weekends. So the people who didn't know, because it happened, I would say a month, I was 11 weeks, so that's what, 2 months and 3 weeks in. Of course, I wasn't showing, and people thought, hey, yeah, she just went on vacation because she wanted a few weekends off. So then now when I come back, life goes on, and some of the people that I also had to help is people that are going through miscarriages at home that do call 911, and now that I have to go help. And so now what do I do? It puts me back in that space where now it's me.
That's the ultimate trigger.
So now 2 to 3 weeks later, I'm answering those people. I have to help those people. Who's helping me? Because now I'm triggered by it. Fight or flight.
You mentioned something earlier. You mentioned that you had a support system. What was that support system like during that time?
It was everything to me. I guess when you believe in God and you say that God will prevail, this is what you think about, right? What about when you think when God is unfair to you for whatever reason? Is it because I said something that God didn't like that I'm being punished? Is it because, I don't know, maybe I was mean to someone and God is telling me you need to learn now? My support system was basically my mother. What do they say? When you have a praying mother, nothing can happen to you. Did I lose faith? Yes. I was very angry at God. And I remember after I delivered my baby, and I said to God, I'm sorry. And I told him, I'm sorry. You knew my heart. You knew that I didn't mean it, but I had to say it. My mom and my husband prayed for me more than I prayed for myself. I hated God. When I said that, I said, how? You have people that want it, like me, we can't have it. We're not having it. It's not going our way, whichever way we turn. And you have people that are also suffering in silence because now they don't know how to act around you. Anything triggered me because now you're watching TV is a problem. You're listening to the radio is a problem. Your birthday is a problem because what do they say? Women, we have a clock. So now you're going off. You're going up in age. You're thinking about what can you do to help? And when you traumatize, you can't really have fun like you're supposed to have fun, right? And like I mentioned, I'm married. So now, my husband. Do I mope around in sadness all day, every day around him? If I'm not happy, what happens? He's not happy. If he's not happy, we're not happy. If we're not happy, we're fighting, right? If we're fighting, the best thing for him to do is to leave the house to go find happiness elsewhere. So my mom had to have a conversation with me. You're running this man away. So it's either you pray that he doesn't stray away too much, or he understands what you're going through because he's also going through it. And us as women, when we're going through something, we don't think the men understand, and we don't think that other people are going through it unless they tell us. And we also expect for anybody around us to read our minds. I wasn't vocal about my pain because it's not something that you want to come out with a microphone and say, this is what I'm going through. And could people understand me? Maybe they did, maybe they did not. Did I give everybody around me a chance to understand me? Definitely not. I ran a lot of people away. I blocked a lot of people, whether it's in my personal life, my professional life, on social media. I could just look at a picture of somebody smiling and I'm upset. Not because I'm not happy that they're smiling. It's just that I couldn't find the happiness in me to also be happy. Therefore, I don't want to see this person in front of me. So I blocked the person on social media. I removed them from my page. And when conversations are not happening, what happens? You believe, oh, Tamara's upset. She's not my friend. I don't want to talk to her no more. So now I'm losing friends. Not realizing that I'm losing friends until now the happy day comes that I'm pregnant, that the pregnancy is advancing, and I have nobody to share the news with because I've blocked everybody. Wow. So now what do? Do I call them and say, hey, I'm pregnant?
Wow. I definitely want to explore that because there's a lot that was said. There's a lot of things that we need to unpack. But I would like to have Sandra chime in. The things that she mentioned, has anything resonated with you? What are you feeling? And what would you like to say to her? With everything that she's saying now, how would you respond, or anything that resonates with you?
I think all of it does in different ways, because I can understand, even down to the Mother's Day. Mother's Day is the biggest trigger, one of the biggest triggers for us that went through infertility, pregnancy loss, because it reminds us what we don't have, what we're trying to get. And like in my situation, like you had to bring home just you. You went in pregnant, you came back with nothing. For me, I felt fake in the beginning of my journey because I was a stepmother. I was celebrating the role, but it wasn't through birth, if that makes sense. Although I love my bonus baby, that's my baby. But early on in the journey, it was like, well, I'm celebrating, even church have Mother's Day celebrations. You know, when you go to church, they give you a flower, they give you a dinner, whatever their church is doing. And I felt fake. While I'm on the table listening to other people's story, I just had the mask, the smile. It's like, oh, okay, all right. Although I love my stepdaughter, but I felt like I was just placed in that. I never went through the hardship of motherhood, through the pregnancy, through all of this. It just kind of fell on my lap. That's how I felt then. Do I feel that now? No. But that's what this journey makes you think, that you are less than, that you are broken, that no one else understands, but at the same time, we're not explaining to other people our story, our reality, for them to understand. So it's so many parts to your story I can connect with, down to the marriage, the relationships, because our mask became part of us. The mask that we put in our face, I would call it a mask with lipstick. Because you can't see the mask, but it's very much there, but we're smiling through it. On the hardest days, we're probably smiling even harder, because our goal is for you to not see what's going on physically in our lives. The days that I had the hardest days were the days I had the most makeup on. Because I wanted you to know or see that everything was good. In reality, you're internally crying for help, but nobody hears. Never been in a room with so many people, but you feel alone. That's infertility and pregnancy loss. People don't understand, so you think. It's not until you start talking, you're like, oh, you went through it? You went to that through too? Oh, shoot, we have the similar story. But it is a lonely road. We do lose friends. We do, our relationship struggles, because we feel like no one understands, and we all in our head. But our body is telling us there's a problem. The doctors are telling us there's a problem. You go into the doctor, it's telling you there's a problem. Menstrual, every month, your menstrual, that was a problem for me. Because then every month you had your period, and it reminds you, I'm still not pregnant. So it's like the triggers that you were having, those little small triggers, for us, they were big. They were big pieces. They were magnified to remind us something is wrong every single day. So I could totally understand your story, that part of your story. Yeah.
And for me, I'm sorry to chime in. For me, when you said that the menstrual part of it is that, for me, it was different. I was happy I had my menstrual. Because I lost 2 pregnancies, I did not want to go through. I don't think I could have survived losing another one. So I did everything that I could have done to not get pregnant, wanting to be pregnant. So I'm a married woman. We have our ovulation time, period, right? This is when it happens. When I knew that it was that time, I would purposely pick a fight with my husband, so that way we do not get intimate around that time, and I don't get pregnant, so therefore I don't have to lose another pregnancy.
So that's like the double whammy for someone that never had a pregnancy loss, that's going through infertility. It's almost the other way around. It's during ovulation, let's go, let's do it. But it became work.
Yes.
That was the only time you have intimacy, was to get pregnant. So with the loss, it's kind of like that fear of losing again. I don't want to do this, just in case I do get pregnant and lose again. When we had our loss, I couldn't fathom going through that again. I cannot go through another loss. So for us, we already had our first miracle, so we had our loss after. And that closed our doors. I'm like, I can't do it again. Like, that's it. We're done. We're not having anymore. We're not trying anymore. So I can relate a little bit of that. I was like, no. Because one time could have taken me out. For me to do this again, I didn't have, I would say, lack of a better word, the balls to do it.
I don't care how strong you are, but when, as a woman, when you look at it, we we are pregnant. We are the vessel to carry the child. It can't happen. Now society is looking at you like, you've been married with this guy for 5 years. What are you guys doing?
You doing it wrong.
Yeah. Something
What's
is wrong.
going on?
Yeah, what's going on? You guys are not having enough.
Go on vacation.
Yes. Just,
Pray more.
pray more. Take some time off. Oh, you work so much. All you
It's
do
your
is
fault.
work. It's your fault. This heavy stuff you carry around your waist, maybe that's the, talk to the doctor and see if the doctor can do something about that. Go to the doctor, change doctor, as a matter of fact. Maybe this one doesn't know what he's doing. Then now you psych yourself up, and people were telling me, I remember I saw someone at a Publix, and I was working, and she said, you see, this is the problem. How long you've been married now? 6 years and no baby. Like, you work too much. Maybe that's the reason why you can't get pregnant. All this money you're making and no baby in the house. When the person does not know what you're going through. And this is the reason why I skipped most holidays. Holiday parties for me, I'm not going. What do people do during the holidays? They come out with their families. Everybody bring their child. Family reunions, I'm not going. Because you have the different ages, you have people pregnant, you have the babies that are coming. You have the potential of people asking you, when is it going to happen for you? I can't answer that question.
The 1,000,001 questions.
Yes. And you also have, unfortunately for me during that time, my mom also became sick.
Oh, wow.
So as she's praying, she's hoping. And one thing that hit me hard, she said, I can't believe I may not live to see you give me a child. So now, the pressure's on. I gotta hurry up because I don't know when God is gonna call her. So now I have to make sure that I hurry up to make sure that I make her happy.
In those moments, I want to be very mindful because this is a lot of information that's being unpacked. And for someone, let's speak for the men, right? In those times when you were experiencing the loss and all of the pressures from either family or people, friends, and you're skipping out on different holidays, what was it like for the husband to experience these moments with you?
For me, it was different because I guess I can't say really different because we're both Haitian. And my husband, of course, sex.
Okay.
But how do we have enough sex? I was stopping that from happening because I didn't want to lose one. And if we're at home, we're not intimate, what is he gonna think?
What do you think he was thinking?
Well, I can't tell you definitely if he's not getting it at home. If I'm not giving it at home, I'm giving it somewhere else. And when he told me that, I was hurt, but I didn't care. Only because I knew I wasn't doing so. So for me, it's like you can say whatever you want to say. I know I'm not doing it. So that was my defense mechanism. I had to shield myself from anything that could possibly hurt me. So I talked to my mom, and my mom was very, you know, when things are happening, like Sandra said, you don't know why things are happening until you have the success that you want, the happy ending, and you said, oh wow. And I'm very grateful that I had the parents that I had.
Okay.
And during that time that we're trying to conceive, we found out that my brother had a child again.
Okay.
So when I found out, I called him. I said, yo, what's up? He said, sis, I'm sorry, man. I couldn't tell you, man. Every time I come here to tell you, I can't tell you. How do I share my happy news with you when I know what you're going through? Mm-hmm. Some people can look at each other in the eyes and one's pregnant, right? They drink out of the same cup and they're pregnant, right? Mm-hmm. I was drinking out of the same cup as my husband, eating from his fork, doing everything that you think you could have done. Mm-hmm. It wasn't happening for me. So when my brother told me that, I had to analyze how many baby showers that I missed from my friends. How many times have they gotten pregnant and not tell me because that they felt like I would not receive it. Mm-hmm. I remember my father-in-law made a comment for Father's Day. And I am a stepmom as well. And he said, I can just wait on the last one from you guys and I'm done. So I looked at my husband. He looked at me. He saw the face. And he said, Dad, please don't bring that up. And you know, as Haitian fathers, now you're going toe-to-toe with your dad in front of your wife. Your dad may not like it. So now he had to protect me. I felt like God put some people in my life to help me out and also gave me the husband that I have. He was so understanding. He was so supportive of the fact that it's not happening other than let's have more sex. But he prayed for me a lot. And I remember he told me something. He said, since you have to eat, you can't go on a diet, I'll fast for you.
Wow.
So every Friday, that was his fast. And I remember when his fast started, I came home from work on Saturday morning, and I see him sleeping on the floor. I'm like, what are you doing on the floor? He said, I'm fasting. Every Friday, I'll be on the floor sleeping. If you see me sleeping on the floor, don't worry about it. We're good. So I'm like, okay. 5 years later, he's still doing it every Friday.
Wow.
And I'm like, you're not going to stop? He said, negative. I'm not stopping because God and I have an agreement. So I have to do my job because he did his work. He did his part. Now I got to do my part. And that's when I said that he prayed for me more than I prayed for myself. He believed that I could have attained it. And he saw it in a way. I did not see it because I felt like he didn't understand. And it wasn't until I had my son that I realized that he was hurting as well. And when I tell you that this baby, it's like, and this is the thing too. My husband is a great dad, great father. And I said to myself, this is the type of man that you want to have a kid for. Why can't it happen for me? And I remember he said one thing and one thing only. Tamara, I didn't marry you to have a kid.
Wow.
You're a perfect wife. And I also told my mom that. And she said, this is the reason why no one else worked in your life, because he was supposed to be the one going through this with you. I didn't understand it then. I understand it now. So, do I apologize to him every time I can? Yes. Because you cannot measure how someone grieves. You cannot tell them to wake up from it and stuff like that. And he had his way of grieving. I had my way of grieving. But I think that he handled it well for me, and thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, baby.
Wow. What about you, Sandra? How do you respond? What was it like for you and your husband and the intimate life? What did it become? Was it the same? Based on everything that she said, how was your experience?
My experience in the beginning, I have endometriosis, as you said earlier. I have endometriosis. Endometriosis, intimacy is painful with endometriosis. It's not pleasurable. It's painful. So with endo, you have lesions. You have so many things happening internally that penetration is painful. So it's not pleasurable. You're gonna, intimacy is like, yeah. So at some point it was more like, I don't want to. So while your husband's ready for round 1, round 2, it could be 3-4 days. You're still recovering from round 1 and pain. So it was kind of like, okay, I'm ready. Like I would avoid touches, holding hands, just to make sure it doesn't lead to it, because I was in pain. So how do you do that early on in your marriage? And you navigating intimacy with your partner. Mind you, we were high school sweethearts. So we separated, went through our different ways, and came back. You're married, you're ready to have a child, you're like, yeah, let's do this. And you're realizing that it's not as pleasurable as you wanted. But making sure at the same time, years later, husband saying, well, was it me? Was there something wrong with me? Was it just like, no, it was never a problem. It was just the pain. And how do you navigate that in your marriage? But at the same time, you have to do this to have a child. Like, how do you navigate? Like, okay, all right, ovulation time. Let's do what we got to do. Do what you do. You're in pain 2-3 days later, but he's ready. It becomes only work.
Wow.
And that bleeds into your intimacy. It bleeds into your communications. It bleeds into so many other areas of your life. So now I get the opportunity to explain all this to other individuals, let them know, like, look, at the end of the day, baby or not, and I'm so happy that your husband said, I didn't marry you for a child. And it's so important for the men to verbalize that. Even though we want it, when you say it, we hear you, but we don't quite believe you. Because if it doesn't happen 2, 3, 5, 20 years from now, are you going to step out to have a child with somebody else? Are we going to divorce because you never got it? Because people do end up in divorce with this. So although they say it, we don't always believe it. We just say, okay, all right. We hope that what you're saying is true. But at the same time, we don't believe it. So how do you navigate your marriage knowing he's saying it and he could very much be saying the truth, but in the back of your head, you're like, yeah, right, sure. For others that are listening that's going through our struggle, communication. When they say communication in a relationship is, yes, we got to talk, but it's a different level of communication when you're going through infertility and pregnancy loss. It's a painful communication. It's you not knowing what's going on with you, your mental, your physical, and having a conversation with your partner when you don't even know how to start this conversation, where this conversation is going to lead. I don't know anything about the medical, what's going on medically in my body, but I have to try to convey that. It is a lot. And the men, most men, all they know is, I'm going to go to this appointment with you. I'm going to hold your purse and hide your underwear. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Hold your purse and hide your underwear from the doctor to see. But
And some don't even go for that.
they don't even know.
Because
they don't go.
some are like, why do I have to go to the doctor with you so I can see?
They don't understand.
So I can see this. Like, I don't need to see this.
Wow.
You can handle it.
Yeah, it's a lot, and we want the man to be there because it is a lot for us after we go to the appointment to explain to you what happened to the appointment while you're trying to understand the appointment yourself and hurt because of the appointment. To now have to come home and your husband is like, what did the doctor say? I'm still processing it. You don't have a medical degree. You're Googling some of the stuff that the doctor is saying. So it is better and it's easier for the men to come to the appointment because you may have questions. You ask the doctor. But when you're the patient, you have to learn to advocate for yourself, be in the present moment. While you're in pain, there's so many layers to it that is all weighing on us. But at the same time, we're like, I need to do better for this man. How do I do better for this man when I don't know how to be better for me? And still navigate how to be better for my friend, how to be a great worker for my job, how to, if stepmother, how do you do? There's so many layers that's weighing that this small part holds a bigger piece to the puzzle because it all bleeds into other areas on your life. But we got to be there for our men. We got to make sure their needs are met. We got to do this because at the same time we're making sure that they don't step out on the marriage. They don't do this. It's a lot at any given time that we're carrying. But at the same time, we don't even know how to explain that to other people because while it's happening, another emotion is happening at the same time that we have to also navigate through. So men, just show up. Just be there. We may not talk all the time, but your presence matter. It really, really does. And keep asking us the hard questions, but not in a hurtful way.
Yeah.
It's more like how you mentally doing, and be okay to hear the truth, even if that truth is just us crying, and just be there to hold us. And I know they're going through their part as well. They are as well. I'm pretty sure they're not trying to, at least my husband has told me, we're not trying to tell you what's going on with us because we don't want to add the extra weight to you. Yes, I agree, but there are some times that we need to hear your side because now we can have another layer of compassion for you so we don't think we're going through this by ourselves. Like, we need to hear your side of the story because now it's like, okay, we're weighing it, carrying it together. And when you're high, I'm low. When I'm low, I'm high, whatever it needs to be. But you can't save us from your feelings. You have to share it. It's not going to be nice, but you have to find a time that maybe I'm having a good moment and, babe, let's talk. You know what? You remember when you said this? I completely understand, but this is what was going on in me. So we can understand your side of this because we're not going through it on our own.
That's a lot of information, and it's very impactful. I would ask, during those times, what did you see your love language? Has it changed? Did it change from prior to experiencing the difficulties? In that process, what did you see being your love language? And does it stay the same as of today, or what did you guys experience as far as how did you feel love? How did you actually feel being loved by your husband?
I would say no. I would say no because my love language is acts of service.
Okay.
You do things for me, especially without me asking. That's like, okay, thank you. That gives me a peace. Even as simple as cleaning the kitchen, going to a grocery run, or just I brought the meal home today without me asking, because that's one less thing I have to worry about.
Okay.
So I'm an act of service. So I would say no, that it wasn't being met then, because while so many things were going on mentally, physically, I still had to show up for my home, even when I didn't want to. I still have to show up for my job, even when I didn't want to. So if I had to come home and I know the house is a mess and my husband didn't help in that regard, it's like another layer I still had to battle. So definitely, if you know your wife's love language, and if she knows your love language as well, it helps navigate the whole marriage connection in a such positive way, because I'm living for you. I'm living to fulfill all of your needs. And if I know this is your love language and I can fulfill that, it makes the relationship a little stronger. So I would say then, no, not as much as I would need it. He has gotten better, but we just need to live for each other, and it would easily come together. But navigating that layer of our marriage, no one planned for. Mm-hmm. No one knows the right way to do things, the wrong way. Am I helping? Am I hindrance? No one really knows. Half the time we don't even know. So it's just relearning your mate in the storm.
Mm. What about you, Numa?
For me, it's I can say that my husband never stopped being the husband that I wanted. Never. Okay. He always showed up. He always did what he needed to do. He always did everything. But I was the problem. I shut everything positive in my life at that time. If it was good, I'm gonna mess it up. Mm. So he can just get me my favorite meal. I'll say, okay, thanks. You don't like it? No, not today.
Wow.
I can go out to eat, and he tells me, oh, by the way, what if we go on a vacation next month? And I'm like, nah, I've already scheduled overtime at work or something like that.
Oh, wow.
So for me, I did not give myself time to be happy. There was no time to be happy because I was thinking about one thing only. I want a child. We're not doing it. We're not eating. We're not going on vacation. Hell, I'm not happy. Nobody can be happy.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So now, like Sandra said, it bleeds everywhere, right? At work. Now I'm the angry black woman. I was suffering, and I made possibly everybody suffered because I wasn't smiling. What is wrong with this girl? She always so mean. Like her face, like she doesn't smile. There's nothing happy. No, there's nothing happy. You don't know what I'm going through. And even if I tell you, will you care? Mm. So the only thing is that I had to stay. My life became, I gotta stay in the fight. So I have to make sure I come home every day, and I have to make sure that I don't get hurt. So I shield myself, and I protected who I needed to protect at work. I did my job, and I went home.
Wow. That's a lot. So you've experienced loss. You've experienced pain. There was a lot of emotions in the home. And maybe sometimes the men, your husbands, they may not have the capability or the mental capacity to be able to take all of this in, right? Now, when you actually gave birth, what was it like seeing your child? Can you walk us through the experience of seeing your sons for the first time?
For me, I didn't get to fully enjoy my pregnancy.
How so?
Because I had another layer of issues while pregnant. I had something called placenta previa,
Okay.
which was basically the placenta was in the bottom while baby was on top.
Oh, okay.
So anything I did, I could bleed. It could be as simple as a cough too hard, sneeze too hard, I can bleed. So I pretty much lived in the hospital for 2.5 months and ended up having a premature baby, 29 weeks, 3 pounds, 9 ounces. And I lived there even during pregnancy and after. So I gave birth, emergency C-section. It's like I had another episode of bleeding episodes. The doctor's like, yeah, no more. We got to go. Because now my levels was going down. But even in the process, I felt blessed.
Okay.
Because I felt like something. I'm like, okay, there's something about what's going on. It's like you don't know it yet, but I know there's something about what's going on. So at that moment, hospital workers will come in, and I told them, like, this is an IVF baby, meaning don't play with me. I can't do this again. Don't mess it up. So that was, hi, patient Eldor. Hey, how are you doing? How's baby doing today? Baby's doing great. Oh, by the way, just in case you didn't know, this is an IVF baby. Mm-hmm. Because I need you to know, you need to take care of this as the most delicate way, because it took forever to get to this point. So now I'm here, I'm stuck in the hospital. I need you to take care of me and baby. So we had an emergency section. I felt cheated with God. Although I was happy, but I felt cheated. I found out on my birthday when I was 12 weeks pregnant that this was happening. So I was in home bed rest. So followed by that, now I'm stuck in the hospital bed rest. So I didn't get to enjoy pregnancy. Through all of this, I'm like, come on, God, could I at least enjoy it? So I didn't have a baby shower. I had a shower after I had my son. I don't have pregnancy photos. I have maybe 2 or 3 that we took on our phones. So it was like, okay, I'm going through this, but how do I feel blessed to go through it, but at the same time, I felt cheated in the whole experience. But when we finally got him home, I was still in fear, because will he make it? Because he's small in the hospital. He's not coming home with me. The whole time for 2.5 months I was in the hospital, I'm like, I want to go home, I want to go home, I want to go home. When my baby was born, I was like, I don't want to go home. I want to stay here because my baby's here. So he spent about 2 months in the hospital. Getting him home, I was so excited, but I was also scared. Because I used to tell the doctor, like, hey, I want him home bad, but if he's not ready to come home, do not send him home with me. Because my fear was coming back here for another emergency. So thank God I didn't have to come back. So I was blessed. I was in awe, like, wow, you actually here. You're here. So on top of the normal lack of sleep, it was also a fear that I hope I don't lose him. So I had moments, I had flashlight, my phone flashlight. My husband had to take my flashlight away from me because I would wake up in the middle of the night. Is his chest moving? Is he breathing? Is he alive? Because I was in fear that I'm going to have another loss through the whole process. But I wouldn't have it any other way now. Because I still look at him today. He's 11 years old. I still look at him as like, that's my prayer request come to life. Like, you are my walking prayer request. And I'm so grateful for it. And I'm happy that he's a good kid. Because throughout my pregnancy, I was like, Lord, push him to the side and make room for you. Like, I need you to be embedded in that womb with him. Because through all of this, he was good. He was good. He's a preemie at 29 weeks. They like, he's actually bigger than he's supposed to be. Mind you, he's 3 pounds. But most preemies are like 1 pound, a couple of ounces. He was over his weight limit.
Oh, wow.
He came out breathing on his own at 29 weeks. He's supposed to be fully in tube. He had, helping him here and there, but it wasn't like full oxygen. Hearing other babies, they're so small, you think it was a mouse crying because they're so tiny. I've been at the NICU and saw cold blue happening, because another mother now is gonna come to the hospital and hear their child didn't make it in the NICU.
Oh, wow.
And I'm here looking like at my son, like, and every time I heard the code, I would stop what I'm doing and pray for that kid, because I'm like, Lord, I hope I don't ever have to come here one day and find out that my child is not here. So I'm praying that these kids make it, for their mother does not have to go through that same pain that some mothers have to go through. So going through infertility, pregnancy issues, and coming home with a baby small, it's like it was like, God, another one? God, another one? It's like, okay, I know now I'm like, I have a badge being your strongest soldier, but Lord, I'm not the strongest soldier. I'm tired. I'm ready to retire, and this soldier defense, I'm over it. But it was always something else. And this is why I said I understand it on the other side, because my story touched so many people, from infertility to endometriosis to that NICU to being a stepmother. It's so many layers to it that I get a big pool. Every time I went through something, my pool of reach is bigger. I get it now. I didn't get it then. But I am one of the ones that was blessed to be able to have my child through all of this. And for others, not everyone get that experience, and my heart goes out to them. But being a mother is not carrying a child. Being a mother is the love you give. That's literally, and I often tell people, do you want to be pregnant or do you want to be a mother? It's totally different. Mm-hmm. And I was okay in my story that I wanted to be pregnant. I wanted to experience pregnancy that led to motherhood. That was what I wanted. And it's okay if that's what you want. But in some instances, we also have to put perspective. Do you want to be a mother? And if you want to be a mother, you can be a mother without being pregnant. There are so many routes that can happen. You just have to be in the position eventually to hear for it and be open to other routes. But someone that's in the infertility space, I know when to ask that question. You don't ask that when a person is in the trenches, like, well, you don't have to be pregnant. You can still be a mom at some point. So now you telling them they're broken. That's what they're hearing. Oh, so I am broken. So there's a time and space that you have to give them other options. And people that's not in the infertility and pregnancy loss space, they don't know that time. So you have to walk that delicate balance when you are with someone that's going through infertility and pregnancy loss. Because our world looked totally different than somebody that can just touch their man's hand and get pregnant.
Oh, wow.
Someone that's like, another one? I'm struggling to have one. And you over here down to 4, 5, 6. So it is a delicate balance. So if you're the one that has children, that can have children easily, be mindful how you approach someone that doesn't.
Okay.
It's hard to explain, but sometimes just your presence may trigger something. It's nothing personal. It's just the mental load that we're carrying in this season. That you're present, that you're able to just, oh, I'm pregnant again. I just gave birth, I'm pregnant again. So I can understand what your brother was talking about, because you probably wasn't in that space to hear, sis, we're having another baby. Like, so I get it. But at the same time, it's like you feel left out. Like, I still want to celebrate you. So everybody else have to do a little bit more work to know when is the right time. Her coming from the doctor's appointment, it's not the right time. But it could be a day that there's a lot of success happening in their life, work, everything else, and you're like, okay, sis, I'm having another baby. I understand. I'm not trying to trigger you. Sometimes it's just more than just, here's the invitation. It's a little bit more conversation. Like, I'm not trying to trigger you, but I really want to let you know that we are pregnant and our heart is with you. This is not a trigger, but we really want you to celebrate with us. And it's okay. You just have to put a little bit more thoughtfulness into it. Don't just say, hey, here's the card, here's the invite, and we really don't want to see it on social first. We really don't want to see it on social media first. We don't want to see it.
It's not personal.
It's not personal. We don't want to just, if you know our story, just approach us and just have that heartfelt conversation. We understand. We're human. Yes, does it hurt? Yes. We can be happy for you and sad for ourselves
at the same time.
At the same time. But if you done it in a way that's so triggering, it's like, okay, at this point we're just sad for ourselves. So it's levels to this.
And what about you, Numa? How was it the first time when you welcomed your son?
Well, Sandra has endo. She has her baby through IVF. We do IVF for different reasons.
Okay.
Fortunately for me, I did not have endo. I don't have endo. There was only one doctor out of the many doctors that I've seen that was able to tell me the reason why I needed to do IVF. So I have what they call balanced translocation, where my DNA, because of the losses that I've had, my DNA, chromosome 13 and 14 are pretty much, 13 is attached to 14, 14 is attached to 13.
Okay.
The only thing the only issue is that causes infertility. Had I not lose any children, had I not lost any of my babies, and I had maybe the two that I lost, and my husband and I were only trying for 2, I would never know that I suffer from that. So the only reason why they tested me for that is because I had losses, they were late, and the doctor said, let's try a different approach. So for me, it was genetic, and it only caused infertility. Now, if it's genetic, more testing comes into it. You can't change my DNA. I'm already alive. So now you have to target the ones that are not alive yet. So now I had to go through more genetic testing to make sure that my brain knew that after doing the egg retrieval, to make sure that the egg gets fertilized, to send that to the lab. So the lab had to make sure that they create a separate probe for me genetically to make sure that my body knows now you're receiving this egg that is now made for you. So this embryo that is now made for you. Yes, I had a lot of doctors, but again, remember, as you do research, you come across a lot of people toward everywhere, right? I live in South Florida. My IVF doctor was in Tampa.
Okay.
I never lived in Tampa. How do I get to the doctor? I work full-time. Can't call out all the time, can you?
Of course not.
It is not a problem yet until it becomes a problem. So the drive to Tampa from home was 4 hours and 22 minutes.
And how often you've done the drive?
When I get home at 1 a.m., my doctor's appointment was at 10 a.m. So I had to leave my house no later than what?
5, 6?
5, 6. I have to sleep. So when I get to the doctor at 10, just for an ultrasound, come right back because I have to work in the afternoon. And it's a 4-hour drive. Hoping that nothing happens in Alligator Alley.
Wow.
So a lot of trips, a lot of driving. The flights were not really good because by the time for me to get to the airport, pass security, get off the plane, go to the doctor, get a taxi and stuff like that, driving for us was the best. Now remember, you don't control your body. You may have to drive on a Monday, you may have to drive on a Wednesday, you may have to drive on a Thursday, you may be off, you may not. And of course, work, if someone doesn't show up, we have to provide a service, so we have to stay at work. We can't leave. If we leave, we abandon our post. I can't leave the job that is paying me to be able to afford to be a mother, because once again, IVF is not cheap.
I do want to ask. It was mentioned at last episode it wasn't cheap, right? Being that you do work in the government, who was paying for those visits? Did you get assistance with it or?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
Because remember, IVF, when we're growing up, well, as we're going through it, the people who actually go through IVF were not really people that had a lot of money. We heard about Michelle Obama going through IVF, right? Michelle Obama was Michelle Obama, so she had the means. She had the funds.
This was for celebrities, people that had...
Yeah,
it was a celebrity thing. For regular individuals like us, it was far-fetched.
Yes,
it was
because
far-fetched.
Most insurance do not cover it. At the same time, most insurance covered it. There are companies, as part of their hiring package, they offer fertility to pay for it. Now, most of them came out during COVID, at the same time that I was going through COVID. We have a coffee chain that we know, that we love, right? Mm-hmm. As part of their hiring package, they offer fertility.
I think I mentioned it the last episode.
Up to $100,000. My idea was to work for them while I also worked my full-time job. I was going to become a barista part-time and do it. I applied. But that's when, of course, the shutdown happened. So now they weren't really hiring people because all the businesses were closed for about, 6 months. So I'm sorry. So, and because we do IVF for different reasons, the price vary. The doctor cannot say it's going to cost this amount. It's going to cost that amount. You have to go through all the testing for the doctor to tell you exactly the reason why you're doing IVF, for you to know exactly how much you're going to pay.
Okay.
because genetic testing is a different price, depending on the lab that the doctor's office uses. So now you have to go through them, you have to pay them. And for me at the time, my doctor's office offered different packages. My package was, at the time, I was between 35 and 40.
35 and 40.
Well, hold on. Between 35 years old and 40 years old.
Okay.
Mind you, that price is not far-fetched either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, remember, we have the clock, the woman clock, right? The younger you are, the cheaper it is.
Okay.
Because there's less testing required.
It's less testing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now I was between 35 and 40. That's a separate age group that is very intricate, because now this is when you're going through all the issues as a woman that you're going through.
They would call us geriatric patients.
Geriatric patients.
Not a fun name, but
Wait, who calls you guys that?
that's when
That's
you're
the
over
medical-
35.
that's a medical term
You're
for it.
now in higher risk.
But that's the actual term?
Yes.
Oh.
That's the medical term.
Yeah, geriatric.
Wow.
So even when you're pregnant, you are geriatric.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's 35 and above.
Okay.
And there's more testing that a doctor should tell you to do. And genetic testing is one for both you and your partner.
And your partner.
And you may end up having to do genetic testing for the embryo as well. So that's an added cost. That's not part of your IVF package. That's just an extra layer. And because of your age, your doctor will be like, I need you to do this. And you should. In a way, if you're quote unquote, you should. But if you don't have the funds, you can still go through IVF without having to do it, but you also at a risk of potentially not having a strong embryo,
Yeah.
which may yield with not having a pregnancy. So it's like, if I'm going to do this anyway, I need to come up with the additional thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars just to add genetic testing to my IVF package, if that makes sense. So it's so many layers, and you hope there's not other issues. You may have male factor issues. You may have something as simple as your iron is low. So now you have to have supplements, and depending where you are, it may not be just pills. You may have to have blood transfusion. So there's so many layers that you may start off with this. At the end, you end up with a whole lot more costs that you probably didn't even plan for. And we didn't even get to the cost of medication yet.
No, because the okay, so we have insurance in our job, right? So while I was going through this, I realized that my insurance did not cover anything other than going to the doctor and pay my copay. That is a regular copay through the either gynecologist or the specialist, and my insurance did not cover it. So now what do? I either start saving. In order for me to save, I have to to work for the money. So I'm not home. I'm working. But I'm working, I want to be home to have a baby. Can't have a baby because I'm not home. So instead of working 10 hours, I'm working 17 hours a day. When I go home, the only thing I can do, go to sleep. But I also have to drive to Tampa to see the doctor. So the insurance covered the generic stuff, the blood work, at your regular lab work. Now, because of my age, the doctor said, okay, this is how much it's gonna cost. However, it would be beneficial for you to pay an extra, so that way, if the first cycle doesn't work, maybe we can try to get in a second cycle.
So the multiple package.
So now I had a multi package. It was definitely cheaper than paying for one pack for one cycle over and over again. So I'm gonna throw out a number. My number came up to $24,463 that I had to pay my doctor. That does not include medication, the pills, the injections,
More lab work.
more lab work. Luckily for us, that included the genetic testing. So, on a Friday, came home from work. I told my husband I'm going to the bank. We have to do the transfer, the wire transfer to the doctor's office. So after paying that $24,000, we had to our names $16 left in our bank account. We are husband and wife, homeowners. We have cars, right? So I went home. I told him, hey, it's Friday. Come home straight. We're drinking water and having cereal for the weekend until we get paid, because we have $16 in our bank account. So now you're hoping your AC doesn't go out, your water heater, right? You're hoping that no plumbing issue, and you're hoping that you can only eat maybe a Happy Meal for the weekend until you get paid. And those $24,000, I looked at him, he looked at me, he said, well, if this is how much we have to pay, let's just take it from the savings. And as a wife, we were able to save $24,000. And I said to myself, gosh, if it doesn't work.
It's an investment.
We don't have the money. We don't have the baby.
Mm-hmm. You're out of $24,000.
We out of $24,000.
Wow.
So, luckily at the time, I had a friend at work, one of the union reps, and she helped me out. She said, well, out of all the things you learn on social media, what can you come up with so we can help you through either the union, the this, the that? I said, let's see if we can talk to HR, and maybe since open enrollment is coming near, we can talk to them and talk about the insurance. And she got me an appointment. I spoke to, at the time, the assistant personnel director. She understood because she had a close family member who went through that. And she said, let me bring it to my boss. She brought it to her boss. She called me, she said, we're gonna give it a try.
Wow.
And it now became part of the package at my job.
Oh, wow.
Where now it covers one cycle up to $15,000.
Okay.
I believe. Don't quote me on it. 12 to 15. Yes, I never went through it. I'm okay with it, but at least I can help people. Because remember, people do IVF for different reasons. For me, it was a genetic reason. For her, it was endo. Now, you also have a community who must do IVF in order for them to have children. Now, you also have to include them in it. The LGBTQ, IA plus community. So now, you have employees. You can't exclude them. You have to give them an avenue. If you want people to work for you, you have to give them a good benefit package where now they're going to say, my job cares. So therefore, I'm staying. I'm not going to look at that other job because that other job offers now something that I want in my life that this job doesn't give me. Mm-hmm. So now, in order for them to stay, because you may have an employee going through it, you don't offer it, they look at the next job over, they say, I'm going to get that job because that job offers me something. Even if I will take less money, but this job is giving me $50,000 towards a child. Mm-hmm. To think about having a child. So I did IVF. Thank God for me. It wasn't until I gave birth. After my baby was also in NICU, I had an emergency C-section as well, because I also suffered not from placenta previa. I suffered from IUGR, where the baby was not growing properly in my belly.
Okay.
So the doctor made the decision for me to have the baby early. Thankfully, he came out breathing on his own, doing everything, but I had the baby at 36 weeks. Baby was very small. I had a 4-pound baby.
Wow, okay.
But he did everything that you can think a baby would do. Full-term baby. He ate every 2 hours. He is not a crier much. He didn't cry a lot. But I can tell you that my pregnancy was having to go through everything that I went through to have this baby. My pregnancy was so, besides the baby not growing at the rate that the doctor wanted to, I had a beautiful pregnancy. I was not sick. I was calm. My mom told me, listen, if you're worried, this baby is going to feel it. If you're sad, this baby is going to feel it. So even if you're sad, you need to be happy. You cannot watch things that are going to make you upset.
Okay.
So once again, we go back to social media. Everything is on social media, right? So now you open social media, you see a post that does not sit well with you. So now you say, oh my God, let me block this person for now. But now the person, well, not block, let me just remove this person from my followers or from me following them. But the person doesn't understand why they no longer see you as a follower, right? And now you're like, okay, you give birth, everything is perfect. Let me add this person again. Person is like, hell no. You removed me from a follower because you didn't think I can handle this and that and the other. Because now, as I'm pregnant, I'm protecting myself and the baby. I can't really get upset and tell you why whatever you posted either made me upset, made me happy, or something that you liked, laughed at. And, you know, so I kept it to myself. But I have lost during that time, not only babies, I've lost friends, I've lost family members, I've lost people that I thought were gonna be, you know, we were gonna be sitting in a nursing home together. And people may say that, hey, maybe they were not in for the long run. But because I never vocalized what I was going through, they were probably going through something in their lives that I probably shut them off. They could not understand, and they're like, she's not being a friend, when I thought that they were not also being a friend. So now let's go back to this pregnancy. Pregnancy was beautiful. When I say I enjoyed the living out of my pregnancy. Okay. I felt beautiful. I was running. I worked up until 2 days before I gave birth, and I was beautiful. Listen, when I said I had no care in the world, I said, man, I'll do this again, but without the heartache. And sitting here, you have two women who went through different avenues of grief to have a child. And I don't want people to feel like just because I had to pay $24,000, you also have to pay $24,000. Because you have to see a doctor to tell you exactly why this cannot happen. We had it. I had the doctors who told me. And if I had to do it again, if God can guarantee me that I'm not going to lose the baby.
Same here.
But since this cannot happen, I'm faithful if we ever go through it again. Well, my husband said we're not going to go through it again, so I'm not. So I have my miracle baby now, and he's the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And when I say that I have everything that I've ever wanted, I'm very content in my life. Super contented. I'm not looking for anything else because I have everything that I've ever wanted. And I didn't know that having this baby would make me this content. And I'm happy that I went through what I went through to be the best mom that he could have ever had, because I'm so happy. Nothing phases me. Nothing bothers me. If it's not positive in my life, I don't care. I just, it's my baby, my husband, my family, and if you're not bringing anything positive into my life, I don't have space for you. I don't know how to, I'm the type of person, like some people have said that, man, you go through heartache so gracefully. I believe that when I was going through this, as someone who liked to fix things, someone who liked to make sure that things get well for people, and my profession, my job is to help people when you are at the lowest. Mm-hmm. I felt like because I am that strong person, no one else around me could be as strong to save me, to help me. That's what I believed. And even if you have one person in your life that can come with anything, positive thoughts, anything. And I remember a girlfriend of mine found out that I paid this much money and I didn't have money. She gave me an envelope and she said, read it when you get home. And she left and I opened it. It was $500 in that envelope.
Wow.
She fed us without telling me, and she said, I want you to make sure that you eat for my baby when my baby's born. And I will never forgive that act because she didn't know how much money I had in my bank account. I was basically surviving on other people feeding me at work to make sure that I can work a full shift. And when I tell people I did not have money, I didn't have it. So I wanted things on TV I couldn't have. Birthdays coming up, this coming up. I was living paycheck to paycheck. And people will say that, oh, you have this fabulous job, you get paid. Yeah, but we also have my bonus children. They have to eat. So dad has to provide for them. We have to pay a mortgage. We have to pay. My mom was sick, and we have to buy medication. And now, remember, those $24,000 did not cover the medication. How do I get medication? COVID happened, right? People on social media were saying how easy it was for them to get medication from Canada. We couldn't travel, right? So now, if I have a prescription from here and I'm not the person in Canada paying for it at the time, they're not gonna give it to me. My medication came from Turkey. So my medication came from places in Europe that I didn't even know existed. And on social media, I realized how following certain people helped me. The same medication here that would have cost me $10,000 cost me $3,000 in Europe. You just have to reach out and see what could have been done for your case. And I did the work, I did that, and I thought it was a prank. When the medication came, I opened the box and I'm like, oh my God, it's for real. But I couldn't understand what was on it because it's from Turkey. I don't speak Turkish. So now I'm like, oh my God, how do I put this in me? Right? So now I'm translating this and my husband is looking at me saying, man, I guess we're gonna have to learn another language. So what cost me $3,000, these medication were also as hindering as this IVF treatment. And it comes together. You can't go through the treatment and not get the medication and get pregnant, because the medication is what helps you after you pay the doctor to do his or her job. So now that's an extra $3,000-$4,000 that is not covered by insurance. You have to pay on a credit card. They don't want debit card. You have to pay on a credit card. And remember, at the time, everything was maxed out. So I even told my husband, well, what about the equity in the house? He looked at me, he said, man, Tamara, you want to do everything. Let's go, man. So I'm like, maybe. And thinking now, he said, one thing, I wanted to do something else right now. And he told me, he looked at me, he smiled, he said, if you're thinking about it and you told me about it, I know you're going to do it. So there's no stopping you. I know you're going to do it. You're going to get to the bottom of it. So bringing my baby home was the best thing that could have happened to me. Because, yes, he's a NICU baby. We didn't come home together. But 2 days later, the doctor called us and said, come get your baby, man. Your baby's eating every 2 hours. My nurses can't. Yeah, the hospital said, yeah. The nurses, no, they're too busy with your baby, feeding your baby every hour and a half, every 2 hours. Come get your baby. He's good. So he's a miracle baby. And like Sandra said, now you're at home. You're thinking, is he gonna make it? The first week? The first month? And now, remember, I had an emergency C-section. Some people didn't know that I gave birth. Because after I gave birth, the baby was taken away from me so soon after. How do I call someone right now and say, hey, I gave birth, but then again, I can't tell you how the baby is. You can't come see me at the hospital because I haven't seen the baby yet. And some people did not understand. They didn't like the fact that I did not call to let them know that I gave birth. And when they found out, they weren't happy about it. And I posted on social media 3 weeks later after I had my baby to protect myself, to give me time to enjoy the moment. But someone had to take that away from me, being upset at the fact that what took me so long. I just waited 9 years to be able to hold something in my arms to call mine. You couldn't give me 3 weeks, a week, a day, an hour to enjoy what I suffered from? So, do you get upset? I couldn't get upset because I was, what do they say? Postpartum, right? I just smiled and said, okay, no problem. On to the next one. I can tell you that person doesn't deserve to be in my life. Because if this is the happiest moment in my life and this is what bothers you, you don't need to be in my life and everything else that you bring. So, baby was phenomenal. 2 years later, and he's, listen, you can look at him and he's the best thing running around the house.
Okay. I definitely want us to stay there, right? In that moment, after you had your son and you had him for that 3-week time frame, right? And you were excited. Pregnancy was great. You had a great experience. Can you walk us through? Because you were nationally recognized, right? There was a situation where you helped, while on duty, you help someone give birth. How was that process for you? How was that experience? Also thinking about your experience, how was that for you?
So I came back from maternity leave, mm-hmm. and while I was out there was a call about someone giving birth, and the person was based on my location. Mm-hmm. I wasn't too far, and things happened so fast that day was, first of all, that day was messed up. I come to work, right after work, well, right in the middle of work, I would say 30 minutes into work, the chief of police said, I'm riding in your car today. Go clean out your front seat. I said, oh my God, the chief of police riding with me, oh my God, what am I gonna do? So I remove everything in the front seat, clean the car. An hour and a half into work, because we're going from call to call, I heard the call on the radio, and I'm like, oh, I'm nearby, let me just go. I was the first car there. And when I opened the window was down. When I opened the door, when I opened the door, the amount of blood that I saw, I'm like, oh my God. And I said to her, we're gonna get through this together. I wanted her to be as happy giving birth in the backseat of that car, as happy as I was when I welcomed my child. Trying to put on my gloves, I turn around, who's behind me? My boss. I tell my boss, hey, can you do this, do that? Can you make sure that she's safe? Yeah, talk to her. I'm gonna go to my car and make sure that I get something. The baby now is already out. So now the baby has to stay warm. So I'm like, can you hold her and make sure you talk to her? And I'm gonna go to my car and get a blanket. So looking for the blanket, remember I just moved everything for my boss to sit. And we worked so in tandem, my boss and I. Thank God she was a female, a mother. She understood. It was like second nature for both of us. The next officer who came, another female, another mother. Thank God. The next one who came, another woman, a mother. So everyone on that scene, we did not have to speak to one another to do the job. I just wanted to make sure that mom was good. And she was on the phone and someone told her, get off the phone. I said, no, let her stay on the phone, because the phone is taking her out of that. Remember her adrenaline. The phone is helping her communicating with someone who's taking her away from that pain. She had no medication. She was on her way to the doctor. And she felt it and she said, no, I'm not going to be able to drive. Let me just call. And she called a ride. And it all happened under I-95. And when the ambulance came, now, oh man. But then again, they are it. I said, oh my God, thank God you guys are here. The very first firefighter who sat in the backseat of the car, he's like, how do I do this? So I'm like, oh, it's easy. Don't worry about it. Just clamp this, clamp here, clamp there, and make sure you cut in between. And the captain was like, oh, damn, Numa knows what she's doing, so let Numa do it. I said, okay, no problem. So we work in tandem. So I relied on my experience as who I was as a first responder and also as a mother, as a woman. They relied on the fact that they are the first responders, and because the captain believed in me, knowing that I could do it, we just worked so well together. And this baby, after she left the hospital, we went to visit her, and perfectly fine. The mom was so thankful, so grateful. She still cannot thank me enough. I still keep in contact with her. We may not talk every day, but we send pictures to each other, my son, her daughter. And she became this other sister that I didn't know that I was going to have. And, and for her first birthday, we celebrated her first birthday at work with my boss.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
No problem.
That's beautiful. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot. There you go. There's a lot to unpack. We would be here all day. But I do want to take this time in this moment to give both of you an opportunity to speak to someone who either has gone through it and may have not had the support that you had, someone who is in the process with IVF, those who may have lost, those who are looking to probably going through the process. What words of encouragement, what words that you can give of support, inspiration to that individual that's watching? Either or. Getting started. You can look at her right there. They're looking right there. There you go.
Hey, sis. My word of encouragement to you is, yes, the pain is real. The pain hurts. You're not crazy. And knowing what you're going through, there's a reason. There is a greater purpose. You're not alone. You just have to find your tribe. Someone that is going through it. Someone that may understand. And it may not be in your immediate circle. You just have to step out to find it. Just know that at the end of all of this, this pain doesn't last always. It's not a pain that's going to last. Even though while you're here, it feels like it's going forever. It could have been your first year, 3 years, 13 years. This pain doesn't last always. It does strengthen you. It gives you a newfound resilience that no one else will understand. But don't give up. Don't give up. The generation prior to us gave up so easily because they didn't have the funds. They didn't have the medical support. Medical team did not know. So now we at this stage in the process. I know you don't know your voice just yet, but the little that you're able to speak, speak. Even if it's to the people closest to you. Because the goal is that child that you're going to hold eventually, they need support. They need advocacy. They need funds. They need change. And your voice is what's going to cause change. You may think you're small in the bigger, I would say the bigger bowl, but you're part of the puzzle. So don't give up. There's people out here that's willing to listen. We're here to listen. Thank you guys for allowing us to share. Your journey is not a lonely one, even if it feels like it. But keep pushing. Keep pushing. You're going to hold a purpose bigger than you. I can't say baby as much as I want to say baby. We hope for baby. But baby or not, you're creating a purpose that's bigger than you. And that's going to be the mission, is the purpose. You think the end goal is baby? It's not. It's really not. It's just another stepping stone. It's the purpose. You're just going through the process to get to the purpose. So we're here for you. You can reach out to any of us, put in the comments, let us know what's going on, but you're not alone. We're here for you.
And if they need to reach you, how can they reach you?
You can reach me, my personal, Sandra Elidor. You can literally Google Sandra Elidor. You'll find all my social information, email, and you can reach out to our organization as well, Filling Empty Wounds, like the mother's womb, on all social media platforms as well.
Thank you. And what about you? What about you, Numa?
For me, the one word that I will tell you, whoever's going through this, is hope. Let hope mark your steps. And do not lose yourself in the process. It may be hard. It will look as if you are alone in this fight. You're not. The people that are fighting silently, to the people who one day want to hold a baby in their arms for whatever reason they cannot, do not lose yourself in the process. If you do lose yourself, it will be too dark. You may not be able to come out of it. Whatever makes you happy, do it. Enjoy life, enjoy the process, and you're not alone. Talk to people that you trust. if it's at work, if it's home, if it's your home church, if it's an elder at church or anybody in your family, and you don't want to lose too much going through this process, because when the happy days come, you want the people also around you to celebrate with you. And I'm not as accessible as Sandra, but you can reach out to me through Sandra. Whatever I can tell you, whatever I did that I was able to do to help me during my journey, I will tell you the avenues, the different doctors, the reason why I did IVF, the doctor that was able to find the problem, and whatever you believe in, just believe that the universe will never let you fail. Like Sandra said, whether you have a baby in your arms or not, at the time that you're going through it, you may think that having a baby is what helps the process. I did not believe it, but I was able to not lose myself. So I'm praying that you don't lose yourself. Just stay positive and keep hope.
Thank you for sharing. I would be remiss if I don't ask Sandra. I'm going to ask Sandra and Numa, both of you, to share one more time, to speak to the men, right? Whether it's a husband, a significant other, what words would you like to share with them if they themselves are going through the process where their significant other or their spouse is either going through the process, experience the process, have experienced loss, and you can also add to parents, right? Especially the men that are involved, that are with their significant other that's going through that process, as you mentioned, with going through doctor's appointments. Speak to them, give them a words of encouragement, some advice, some inspiration, and also for the parents or close friends that are also aware of the matter, what words of encouragement would you give to them or words of inspiration to help in that process?
Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Hey, hubbies. Your mission in life was not to be a dad. Your mission in life was to be a provider. And when I mean my provider, I'm not talking about just financially. Spiritually, mentally, physically. A child is the bonus you get. In our society, marriage, just love and passionate, is slowly diminishing. And we want to revive it back. You matter so much more than you know. The position that you hold in your household is so much more than you know. And this mission is just you and your mate, you and your partner. Cultivate that love that surpasses all understanding. Because if you don't, and that child comes, the problem and the pain will still be there. Talk to your wife. Let her know how you really, truly feel. Don't think because she's going through this as if she's going through it alone. She's holding too much. She's carrying it all, that your voice doesn't matter. We look to you for calm. We look to you for peace. So make sure you are talking to her. Yeah, let her know she's beautiful, but also let her know, I'm having a hard day today too. Don't wait until years and years has been piled up for her to know what's your side of the story. Share the story while you in the story. because you're part of the main character as well. Be part of it. Let her know how you feel. She may not understand, but it's okay. You don't understand what she's going through either. Because the likelihood of you saying you love this woman, at the end, the likelihood of you ending a divorce is strong. Infertility and pregnancy loss may break you both. Don't let the enemy win. You didn't marry just for a baby. A baby was a bonus. So make sure you are pouring into her and give her the opportunity to pour into you. Because if she does not know how you feel, you are not allowing her to pour into you. You're cheating her in this marriage. Make sure you guys date each other. And when you're dating, you're not talking about infertility. You're not talking about pregnancy loss. You're talking about each other. And if you have a hard time having that conversation, I dare you to have childlike dates where you spend more time giggling than talking. You're going to play video games, you're bowling. It's just childlike dating and just having a fun. Go to a carnival if it's the season for carnival. But it was meant for you to just be you and him or you and her. Because at the end, when that child leaves that house, that miracle baby is going to leave at some point. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be you and your mate. Do you still like your mate? Do they still give you that tickle, that butterfly? And the only way to guarantee that's going to stay is when you put you as one. You are together, fighting to stay regardless of the pain. So husband, your role in this is vital. Your role in this is greater than the doctor's role. So don't give up. We don't want you to end your marriage. We don't want the enemy to cause the turmoil and use infertility as an exit strategy. So cultivate the love you had when you first met her and go out on those childlike dates. All right? Contact me. Maybe I'll give you some pointers. But I'm no marriage expert, but I've heard so many stories of marriage ending, even years after they did have the miracle. So the child doesn't save your marriage. It's just a bonus to your marriage. You and your wife, that's who saves the marriage.
Thank you. And Numa, what about you? Thank you.
Hubbies, partners, you are worth it. The same way we don't want mom or the partner to lose it is the same way that I would tell you to keep hope. It is hurtful for your partner to also see you hurt and not knowing how else they can help. So I want you to think about the happiest day that you guys had together to make sure that you stay in that day. You cultivate that day, you cultivate that love, because only by loving each other you can stay through it. I also want you to take time to enjoy yourself in the process too, so that way you're not burnt out. And also learn the process with your partner, so that way the information that is given to you is not foreign, where you have to constantly ask your partner to repeat themselves. And love on yourself and be that person that will not give up the fight, because your partner is fighting so all of you guys can be happy one day.
Thank you, all of our viewers and listeners. I would like to take this time to mention to you, please go and support Sandra Ellador's book, Mommy Kangaroo. Wonderful, wonderful book for your children, okay? And she's going to take this time to give us her wonderful signature.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the support.
Of course. Here we have it. This is official.
It's official.
This is original.
Official.
All right. Go and support. Thank you.